Nobody knows where this is. I just heard a clap at that end. Back in here. And just turn off the lights. So guys, once again, I am continuing our little thing in this, wow, it's echoing. Continuing our little thing in the mountains where we are exploring abandoned places and we're exploring graveyards at night and doing all kinds of creepy things. And we are inside one of the haunted tunnels that's abandoned inside of the Smoky Mountains. So this place is known as the Road to Nowhere. And I will talk about the history because I really don't know that much right now. Later, and I will tell you why this is here, why it's abandoned, why nobody is here, and why it doesn't go anywhere at all. The calcium buildup is all over it. Wow, it gets dark. It's a half a mile. And it's weird that they didn't even put a road here. It's just dirt. Not only did they spend the money to make that tunnel, they spent the money to make the road all the way up to the tunnel. Made the tunnel through the mountains, and they did nothing with it. It'd be cool if there was little areas on the side and stuff where, people could hide and kill us. Well, now we're almost at the end of it. I kind of think that graffiti is kind of a really cool form of art and a good way for people to express themselves, but they shouldn't always do it the way they do. I feel like there should be maybe places built for people specifically to do graffiti. But I think it'd be cool to do this at night. Ooh, the ground is mushy here. Well, this feels like road here. So maybe it is road and it just got washed out. And we're at the end of the tunnel. But what's above the tunnel? More graffiti. See, the road continues that way. Apparently the tunnel wasn't enough for the graffiti. So guys, I'm heading back through the tunnel. I'm doing this by myself. Going through here with nobody around me. So I was kind of thinking about why they stopped the development of this road and why it was now called the Road to Nowhere. Wow. And we think that maybe something might have happened here, or something something with the government happened, or maybe somebody died in this tunnel, or something paranormal happened while they were making this road that made them want to stop the work on this road. I'll turn on the light just so you guys can see, because I know it's completely dark for you guys. Tunnel, don't come back in here or you will be cursed. And I just think it's kind of crazy that nobody else is in here. That a lot of places in the Smoky Mountains are religiously told about, and hundreds of people are in the parking lot waiting to get in and be all that, be the people in there and explore it into the mountains and like Kate's Cove and stuff. But then this area has absolutely nobody. Nobody knows where this is. This is on the other side of Gatlinburg. And like I said, not many people know where this is. I just heard a whistle. I just heard a clap at that end. Wow, that's kind of cool looking. So what I'm gonna do right now is stand in this corner with my back against the wall so nobody can come at me from behind, and just turn off the lights. Okay, I think that's enough. Nothing really happened. So I'm just gonna continue to go through this tunnel. And I can't even see the ground, so I'll turn that on. But like what I was saying earlier, like I'm gonna do more research, but I think that maybe somebody might have gotten hurt in this tunnel while making it, or somebody may have died, and that's why they stopped the making of it. But I can't really tell you, prove that wrong or right, because I'm not sure if, even if that happened, if they'll say that it happened. Tears for dead cops. And I know this is this tunnel is one of the most haunted places in the mountains and in this area. So I'm not sure if things might be able to be heard over the speaker of the camera or be seen in the frequencies of the camera. I don't know. That'd be awesome if it did, but also creepy, because I'm exploring this different world and different part of life, or maybe even death. Oh, I'm coming at the end of the tunnel. Wow, I just heard myself echo and it sounded really weird. But if you guys did see anything or maybe heard something in the background, please let me know in the description. I will look up some history up on this place, and I will talk about it more in the cabin, and maybe even some theories why this place didn't be developed more. They didn't put more money into it to actually finish what they first created. And I think it's really creepy that there's a pair of flip-flops there, because who knows like why that's there. Maybe somebody came at night and they were all alone. What the heck is that? Well, I'm going over there. Just a little tunnel. Shine the light down it. Nothing. Man, I was kind of hoping there'd be something cooler. Well, anyways, guys, like I said, I will see you guys back at the cabin where I will talk about the history of this place here. So guys, I just got back from exploring the abandoned tunnel and the road to nowhere, which is what the road is actually called. And the reason why it got abandoned and nothing ever got built other past the tunnel, because there's nothing behind there except for a nature trail, was because in the 1930s and 40s, the US government took land from the people of Swain County and the area and told them to leave. And this was for the creation of Fontana Lake, which is a lake that I'm showing right now, and for the creation of the Great Smoky Mountains, the national park that millions of people visit every year. And the lake that again that I'm showing right now is known as Fontana Lake. It's actually a reservoir for Fontana Dam, which was built as a TVA project during World War II to produce electricity for the aluminum plants in Tennessee, which would later be used for building planes and all kinds of stuff used in World War II. The power was also used for Oak Ridge and the National Laboratory for the Manhattan Project and the area, which is actually what helped us win the war. And it's actually pretty crazy that that lake getting filled in and the creation of that tunnel leads back to World War II. But the area that the lake would later become was first had established by hundreds of people, and when the government told all the people to leave, they had nowhere to go and all their history and all their past and cemeteries, which will later come up in the story, were there. And what would end up happening was the people in the town wasn't going to leave. So even when the government came to them and were like, we'll give you money for your land, the people said no. So the government had to just force them off their land. Fontana Lake would also end up covering a huge road that was in the area. And the road was actually called 288. It was Highway 288, which got covered by Fontana Lake, and it's still at the bottom of the lake. And then this leads to the road. The road was actually promised by the government. The government promised that they would have a road created to get to their family cemeteries and all the things that were left behind that they could still get to after the lake was created. And that was the only way that they could kind of make a deal with the people who lived there. The road was also going to be a way to cut through the national park of the Smoky Mountains. But like it says, and like you guys seen, it never fully got made and only got made to the tunnel and ended. But then leads to the question, why did they stop making and end just the road completely to where it is? One of the main things that people say got ended and the construction ended was money. And they blame it on the environment and all that. But also another thing that people say was that snowflakes would melt immediately as they hit the road, which would create problems for people getting up there and all that. And there was also a very strong smell of sulfur in the area, which as we got out of the car, we kind of did smell something a little bit and said it smelled a little funky. But now we know what that smell might have been. And going back to the snowflake melting as soon as it landed on the rock, when rain would get onto the pavement, it was giving off an acidic liquid, and the acidic liquid was getting into the runoff and getting into the water that the animals and the environment needed to thrive, and this was also creating an environment issue for the area. But I think that there was other reasons why it shut down, and because they had already put millions of dollars in creating this road. And I think a little bit of environment issues back then wasn't that big of a deal. So I think something may have happened in the construction of the tunnel, and a lot of people say the tunnel's haunted. And a lot of people also say when they go through it, they feel stuff and they see stuff at the end of the tunnel that's not there when they get there. And I know even a lot of people don't end up making it all the way through and end up turning back. But now let's get to present day with it all, or not too long ago. The US Department of Interior agreed to give $52 million to the people because the road was never created. However, this really didn't happen. And in 2016, only $12 million had been paid to the people of Swan County, and lawsuits were being created to get the rest of the money. And then in 2018, the last bit of the payment, the last of the $52 million was paid to the people of Swan County and North Carolina. And to this day, because the road was never created to get to their cemeteries, their family cemeteries, and their past, ferry goes in between where people can still get to and their cemeteries for the Swan County and the people who used to live there. And this happens in the summer. I'm not sure if everybody's allowed to go or if it's just for those people who once lived there. So I think that's pretty interesting, and I think they're trying to do what they can with the situation. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please smash the subscribe button. I love you guys, and I will see you next video. Peace out.